Have you ever looked at your room and thought, it needs something, but I'm not sure what? Well, I was in the same boat. I wanted a change, but I didn't want to spend a fortune or do a big renovation. Then I made one simple change, replacing my curtains. Sounds small, right? But trust me, the difference was huge. What happened after I swapped out my old curtains? You won't believe it. Stick around to see the incredible before and after transformation. You might just get inspired to try it in your own space. The before setup. Let me take you back to how my room looked before I made any changes. It was nice, but something didn't feel right. The space felt dark and a bit heavy. When I looked around, I realized the old curtains were the main issue. They were thick, heavy, and had this faded beige color that didn't do anything for the room. The curtains covered most of the window and blocked a lot of natural light. Because of that, the room felt dull, even in the middle of the day. Every time I walked into the room, I felt like something was off, like the energy was drained. It wasn't awful, but it didn't make me feel happy either. At first, I thought it wasn't a big deal. After all, they were just curtains, right? But as time passed, I started to notice more and more how the space didn't make me feel at home. It was like there was potential for something better, but this one thing, the curtains, were holding it all back. The colors were too dark, and the fabric felt so heavy. It was like they were trapping all the light and energy in the room, making it feel closed off. I knew I needed something fresh, something light and airy. I wanted the room to feel open, welcoming, and peaceful. But for a long time, I just ignored it, thinking it was too much work or too expensive to change. I was used to it, and I thought, it's just curtains. It's not a big deal. But deep down, I couldn't ignore it anymore. Every time I walked into the room, I felt that little bit of discomfort. That's when I finally decided, enough is enough. Something had to change. Let me show you what happened next when I took the leap and decided to make a change. Why I decided to change. I've got to admit, I dragged my feet on this decision. For the longest time, I kept telling myself, it's just curtains. It's not that important. But something clicked. I started to feel like my room needed a change. Not just any change, but something that would make it brighter and more welcoming. The old curtains were really dragging the whole vibe down. Every time I looked at them, I realized they didn't match the feeling I wanted for the space. I wanted a room that felt light, open, and happy, not one that felt closed in and gloomy. After thinking about it for a while, I realized the curtains were the problem. They weren't letting enough light in, and that was making everything look dull. I started to picture what the room could look like with a fresh set of curtains. Maybe lighter fabrics. Maybe some color. Something to bring in the natural light and make the room feel warmer. I decided it was time to act, and the best part was, I didn't need to spend a lot of money to do it. So I began looking online for curtain options. I wanted something simple, yet stylish, that could really transform the space without breaking the bank. I kept thinking, this is going to be easy, but it's going to make a huge difference. And trust me, it did. Let me show you the choices I made and how everything came together. The shopping process. Once I finally decided to change the curtains, the next step was finding the perfect ones. I didn't want to just grab any curtains off the shelf. I wanted something that would fit the room's new vibe. So I spent some time browsing online to find curtains that were light, airy, and not too expensive. I considered a few options. White, light gray, and even some soft pastel shades. I wanted a color that would brighten up the room without being too bold. I found a pair of white curtains with a delicate pattern that felt fresh and modern, but still simple. The fabric was lightweight, which meant it would let in plenty of natural light, exactly what I needed. The best part? The curtains were on sale, so I didn't have to spend a ton of money, and I was able to get something that looked stylish. I also picked up a new curtain rod to match the curtains. I wanted everything to blend together smoothly, so I chose something simple but sleek that would complement the look I was going for. After I ordered everything, I could hardly wait for the package to arrive. I kept imagining how much better the room would look. When the curtains finally came, I was excited to see them in person. But I was also a bit nervous. Would they actually look as good as I imagined? Only one way to find out. The curtain hunt/inspiration. So I started looking for new curtains. At first, I had no clear idea. I just knew I wanted something different. I opened Pinterest and typed curtain ideas. Within seconds, my screen was filled with soft, beautiful rooms. Light colors, flowy fabrics, rooms that look calm and fresh. That's when I thought, maybe that's what my space is missing. I started saving pictures. I noticed a pattern. Most of the rooms I loved had light-colored curtains. Creams, whites, light grays. They let in a lot of natural light, and they made the whole room feel open and peaceful. I compared those to my old heavy curtains and realized, yes, this could be the change I need. I also looked at some online stores. So many choices. Linen, cotton, sheer, blackout. Some were too shiny. Some were too stiff. I didn't want anything too fancy. Just something soft and clean. Then I visited a nearby store and touched the fabrics myself. That really helped. Feeling the texture made a big difference. I found one that was light ivory, soft to the touch and not too thick. When I held it up to the store window, it let the sunlight through in such a warm and cozy way. I could already imagine how it would look in my room. It wasn't easy choosing. I kept asking myself, is this the right color? Will it match the rest of the room? Will it be too plain? But something about that fabric just felt right. It was simple, calm, and timeless. I decided to take the chance and ordered it. Now all I had to do was wait for it to arrive, and hope it looked as good as I imagined. Mini twist or unexpected moment. A few days later, the curtains finally arrived. I was so excited. I opened the package quickly, ready to hang them right away. But as soon as I pulled them out, I noticed something strange. The color looked a bit different. It wasn't the soft ivory I saw in the store. It looked more yellow in my room's light. I felt a little worried. Did I make a mistake? Then I unfolded the fabric, and there were so many wrinkles. Deep lines from being folded tight in the box. It didn't look smooth or nice at all. For a moment, I honestly thought about sending them back. I kept staring at them and asking myself, is this really going to work? But instead of giving up, I decided to try something. I got out my steamer and slowly worked on the wrinkles. It took time, but the fabric started to look better. Softer. Neater. I also noticed that in the daylight, the color looked much nicer, less yellow, more warm and cozy. That little scare almost made me stop. But I'm glad I didn't. Sometimes things don't look perfect right away, but you have to give them a chance. And I was just getting started. The real change was about to happen. The curtain installation. Now it was time to hang the curtains. I cleared the space near the window and got everything ready. The new curtain rods had just arrived too. I picked a simple black rod with round ends. Nothing fancy, but it added a nice clean look. First, I measured the height. I wanted the curtains to hang just a little above the window frame to make the ceiling look higher. It's a small trick, but it really helps a room feel bigger. Then I checked the width. I made sure the curtains would cover the window fully but still have extra fabric on the sides for that full, flowing look. With my tools in hand, I carefully fixed the brackets. It wasn't too hard, just patience. Once the rod was up, I slid the curtains one by one. The moment I stepped back, wow! Even before adjusting them, I could already feel the difference. The room instantly felt brighter. The fabric moved slightly with the breeze, and it brought life into the space. I took a few steps around the room, looking from every angle. It was soft, calm, and fresh, exactly the feeling I wanted. And here's the best part, it didn't feel like just a curtain change. It felt like a total room upgrade. But I wasn't done yet. Now, I needed to style the space around the curtains to bring the full look together. Let me show you how I did that next. Styling around the curtains. After hanging the new curtains, the room already looked so much better. But I knew I could make it look even nicer by styling the space around them. I started with the area near the window. Before, I had a bulky chair there that didn't match the soft new look. So I moved it out and placed a small, simple side table instead. On top of it, I added a light-colored vase with some fresh green leaves. It looked clean and natural. Next, I changed the cushions on my sofa. I picked soft beige and light gray covers to match the curtains. It helped everything look more put together. I also added a soft throw blanket over one side. It gave the room a warm, cozy feel. The walls around the window were plain, so I added a small framed art piece. It wasn't too bright or bold, just something simple and calming. The artwork had soft colors that worked well with the curtains and made the space feel more balanced. I even changed the rug. The old one was dark and heavy, and it clashed with the new light curtains. So I rolled it up and replaced it with a soft, neutral rug. It made the whole space feel more open and clean. All these small touches brought the room together. It didn't cost much. I mostly used things I already had, just placed them in a better way. It felt like a brand new space. And the curtains were now the star of the room. But the real surprise was yet to come. Wait until you see the full before and after, side by side. The full before and after reveal. Now it's time for the moment I've been waiting to share, the full before and after. Let's go back to the before. The room felt dark, heavy, and a little lifeless. The old curtains blocked the natural light and made everything feel smaller. Even though the furniture and layout were fine, the space just didn't feel right. Now look at the after. The new curtains changed everything. The room is filled with light. It feels open, fresh, and peaceful. The soft fabric moves with the breeze and brings life to the space. It's cozy without being cluttered. Warm, but still airy. It finally feels like a place I want to spend time in. What's wild is how such a small change made such a big impact. It wasn't a full remodel. I didn't buy new furniture. I just swapped out the curtains and styled the space around them thoughtfully. This makeover reminded me that you don't need a huge budget to transform a room. Sometimes, all it takes is one smart change to unlock the full potential of your space. So if you're staring at your room thinking something feels off, maybe it's time to take a closer look at your curtains. The before and after says it all. How it changed the mood and feel of the room. After the curtains were up and the room was styled, I started to notice something deeper. The space didn't just look better. It felt better too. Every time I walked in, I felt more calm. The soft light coming through the curtains made the room feel warm and peaceful. It didn't feel dark or heavy anymore. In the mornings, I enjoyed opening the curtains and letting the light in. It made me feel more ready to start the day. And in the evenings, the soft glow from the curtains made the space feel cozy and safe. It actually made me want to spend more time in the room. Even my family noticed the difference. They said the room felt bigger, lighter, and more relaxing. It became a space where we wanted to sit, talk, and even just enjoy a quiet moment. And the best part? It didn't take a full renovation or a big budget. Just one change, new curtains, and everything shifted. It's amazing how small updates can change not just how a room looks, but how it makes you feel. If you've been thinking about refreshing your space, maybe all you need is a little change like this too. But wait till you hear how easy it actually was to do all this. Let's talk about that next. How simple and budget-friendly the process was. Now let me tell you something that might surprise you. This whole curtain makeover didn't cost much. And it was so simple to do. I didn't hire anyone. I didn't need special tools. I just planned carefully and took it one step at a time. The curtains I picked were affordable. I bought them during an online sale. The curtain rod was simple and not expensive either. Altogether, it was way cheaper than buying new furniture or painting the walls. I also reused things I already had, like the side table, the vase, and and the rug from another room. That saved a lot of money too. Installing the curtains wasn't hard. I just needed a drill, a measuring tape, and a little patience. If you've never done it before, don't worry. There are lots of easy tutorials online. You can totally do it by yourself. And steaming the curtains to remove the wrinkles? It took some time, but it was worth it. The best thing is, I didn't feel stressed during the process. I actually enjoyed it. It felt good to refresh my space without spending a lot or making a mess. It showed me that small updates really can make a big difference. So if you're on a budget or renting a home, this is a perfect project. No damage, no huge cost. And the results? Amazing. But before we end, let me leave you with something that might inspire your own home makeover. Final thoughts and takeaway. So here's what I learned. Sometimes, just one simple change can make your whole room feel new. I didn't move the walls. I didn't spend a lot of money. I just changed the curtains. But that one step changed the mood, the light, and the style of the entire space. It reminded me that home updates don't have to be big to be powerful. You don't always need a full makeover. Small changes, like new curtains, new cushion covers, or moving a few things around, can do so much. They can refresh your space and even change how you feel every day. If you've been feeling bored with your room, maybe this is your sign to try something small. Pick one thing, like curtains, and just start there. You'll be surprised how much of a difference it can make. So, what did I learn? Small changes can make a big difference. I didn't do a full makeover. I just changed the curtains. And it changed the whole room. Now it feels bright, calm, and cozy. I actually want to be in this space. You don't need a big budget to update your home. Start small. Try new curtains, move things around, or add a little color. One small change can make your space feel fresh and new. If something feels off in your room, look closer. Maybe it's the curtains. Maybe the lighting. Don't wait for the perfect time. Just try one change. See how it feels. If this video helped you, tap like and subscribe for more easy home ideas. And let me know in the comments, what small change will you try next? See you in the next one.